He'll make some things happen down the line in the future, but we'll never look at him the same after that destruction. Not to say that we won't respect him, but we'll never look at him the same.
Now, everybody know Tank, kind of like you say, they love him too.
It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. You got biased people, unfair people.
Stephen A. Smith criticized Gervonta Tank Davis over claims that his fight was rigged. He questioned the judge's fairness and said Davis should prove himself by having a rematch with Lamont Roach.
We can debate the top fighter in the world pound for pound. We can do that. What we cannot do is debate who's the most exciting fighter, who's the biggest box office attraction in boxing. That would happen to be Gervonta Davis. We just got to accept it. I think that Frank Martin is a talented fighter. He'll make some things happen down the line in the future, but we'll never look at him the same after that destruction. Not to say that we won't respect him, but we'll never look at him the same because he got destroyed by Gervonta Davis. And that's no shame, that's no slouch, but damn, still in all, if you get destroyed, you get destroyed. Gervonta Davis is the #1 box office attraction. Who I want to see him against next is Shakur Stevenson. I don't want to see him against Devin Haney because Devin Haney has proven to me that he's not a good punch taker. I want to see Gervonta Davis in the ring with somebody perceived as having enough power to put him on the canvas too. That's what I want to see.
Coach Bernie shared his thoughts on the fight, saying that Tank Davis didn't fight like a true champion. He felt Lamont Roach showed more urgency and heart, while Davis seemed to just go through the motions. Bernie also said that with Davis's reputation and skills, he should have finished the fight in a stronger way instead of leaving fans with doubts.
Exactly. He's a champion. He got to defend his title. He like I said, they both was looking at each other. And then finally, after Tank will be the one to throw the first punch. He felt like he wanted to retain his title. Lamont Roach felt like he was just happy to be there and get the success. He wasn't trying to take the title. And I'm saying that even from the last round, the final 20, 30 seconds of the last round, he wasn't throwing no punches. He looked at him and got caught with a jab. You can't close the show with a guy like that, with a guy like Tank Davis like that. Now, if he'd have had a knockdown or something, like a real knockdown or something, maybe he feeling, but you can't stop until the bell ends. You can't, even if you're being active and slipping and sliding and something, he just standing there looking at him. I don't know. I didn't understand that. I don't understand why fighters sit there and look at each other for a long time. Change the angle. Keep a rhythm in your waist. Snap a jab. Do a feint. Ain't no need of you standing there looking at no man for 20 seconds in a fight. That don't make sense. But so I think, like I say, Lamont Roach, he will be kicking himself in the ass that he didn't do more, but grateful that he did enough.
Joe Rogan criticized how the rules were applied in the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, saying they seemed written by lawyers instead of boxing officials, suggesting they favored Davis. He also praised Roach's boxing skills, saying he was impressed with his performance. Rogan added that if the knockdown had been counted, Roach would have won the fight.
If the return strike has any other result, the match result stands. That's crazy. So you can get KO'd, you get finished, they give you 2 minutes to come back, and if you could knock that guy out, then it's a draw.
They also haven't used the rule yet.
So you go knockout for knockout.
Boy, that rule looks like it's written by lawyers, doesn't it? Doesn't that rule look written by lawyers? So find out what's happening, because I think they were going to announce something today about Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis decision on the knockdown. It was a very good fight, though. Lamont Roach is very good. I was really impressed because Tank is nasty. Tank is so fucking powerful. Yeah. He's so vicious. Like his one punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground, and his uppercuts, they're just fucking devastating. Yeah. So like for Lamont Roach, not just to survive, but do
some damage,
to do damage and
put him on the knee,
basically bring it to a draw, which if they do change this because of that knee, it becomes a victory. I think it should be a victory for him, and I think they should do a rematch.
100%.
it's everybody saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he hurt Tank. Tank did have some shit in his eyes, but what are you doing putting shit in your hair when you have a world title fight? That's crazy.
And no one want to hear about it in the middle of a fight day.
Many pro boxers and analysts were shocked and disappointed by the fight's outcome, calling it one of the most controversial decisions in recent boxing history. Some argued that the referees and judges didn't apply the rules correctly, saying this damages the sport's credibility. The debate over whether Davis deserved the draw or if Roach was robbed continues to grow, with fighters and fans expressing frustration over the decision.
Gervonta Tank Davis says he took a knee because he got his hair done a few days ago and something dripped into his eyes. Ryan Garcia said that Lamont Roach won that fight. And he continues with, not calling that knockdown is the most wild thing I've ever seen in boxing. That type of stuff makes boxing look bad. And it says, crazy shit, see y'all May 2nd. Terrence Crawford said they robbed that boy and it's crazy. Roach won and that should have been called the knockdown. Let's see what happens. Devin Haney says, I was waiting for the backflip. Even Turki Alashi had something to say about the fight. He said, if you charge people $80 per pay-per-view, you must give them a good card with good production. What are your thoughts? Then Terrence Crawford continues with, some of y'all need to watch Mayweather versus Hernandez and see Mayweather takes a knee because he hurt his hand and it was called a knockdown, not from a punch either. He says, I've never seen someone take a knee and they don't count it as a knockdown. Must have forgot the rules for tonight. And Shakur Stevenson is willing to fight Lamont Roach. But in your honest thoughts, who do you think should have won this fight? Do you believe with the decision as a draw? Or do you think Lamont Roach should have won that fight?
After the fight, referee Steve Willis was asked why he ruled the match a draw and didn't count the knee as a knockdown. Instead of explaining, he refused to comment. His silence has fueled speculation of favoritism in the decision. Fans and analysts are now questioning whether Davis was given an unfair advantage.
Who's thinking what Tank did that when he took the knee? Who's thinking when he took the knee? I can't speak on that. Can't speak on that? Can't speak on that. He did some bullshit though? I can't speak on it. You have no personal opinion, nothing? Can't, especially you.
Sports analysts Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp reviewed the fight and agreed that Lamont Roach deserved the win. They acknowledged that Tank Davis landed powerful shots, but pointed out that Roach responded with equal or even harder punches. They believed Roach's resilience and ability to push Davis to his limits should have earned him the victory instead of a controversial draw. Boxing experts have also analyzed the moment when Davis took a knee, comparing it to past fights where similar situations were ruled as knockdowns. In previous cases, when a fighter voluntarily went down without being knocked down by a punch, it was counted as a knockdown. This has sparked further debate over why the referee didn't make the same call for Davis.
Then 2 jabs after that. And see a jab on the eye. Tank Davis turns to the referee and kneels. Gentlemen, here in studio, fairly clear that knee touches, that's a knockdown. I don't know how else you can see it. And when people talk about the delay, well, there's a delay. We've seen much worse delay, especially on body shots. Someone takes a body shot, backs up, and in several seconds, then they take a knee. And people take knees for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes you're under assault and you need a break. Yeah. It's all a knockdown.
Jimmy, we've seen, if I think of fights in the past where voluntary knees have happened, you know, off of not one single moment or one single punch. You think of Mayweather against Carlos Hernandez, when he lands the punch and turns his back and takes a knee, he gets counted. You think of Miguel Cotto against Antonio Margarito, where, you know, it was under duress and he just took that knee. And of course, my compadre right here, Chris Algieri against Ruslan Provodnikov as well. It wasn't a particular shot. You feel something, you feel discomfort, you take a knee. All those times, there's a count, dude. I mean, and I'll tell you what, Steve Willis also knew there was a count because he started counting and then stopped.
Yeah, we'll get to it. There's more than one pillar of this defense for Lamont Roach Jr., but the first one's a knockdown, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of experts on the panel today. I'm going to speak from a fighter standpoint, just like you did, champ. You know, and you can argue whether that right hand landed clean or if it landed hard or how hard those jabs were. It doesn't matter, champ. When you mentioned when I took that knee against Ruslan Provodnikov, I actually didn't get hit. I was still recovering from the last knockdown when my orbital was damaged. My eye was damaged. My vision was impaired. I gave ground so I would keep my opponent off me, and I still couldn't see, so I took a knee.
This fight has sparked intense debate among fans, analysts, and boxing experts, with many questioning the fairness of the decision. As discussions continue, All eyes are on what happens next, whether a rematch will be set or if Davis will respond to the controversy. What do you think? Was Roach robbed or was the draw fair? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more boxing updates and analysis. Boxing Glove Fire.